Alicia. Do you have my full name?
Yeah, sure.
Alicia Birmingham.
Alicia
B-I, like, in, like, the city. Because people are, and there's a bridge here, the Birmingham Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always like, Birmingham, like the bridge. And they go, can you spell that, please? B-U? I'm like, no, this is so simple.
And how old are you, Alicia?
34.
So, when I shot a sort of line out on the Facebook poly group, what made you interested in having me come and document your lifestyle?
Is this the part where I rephrase the question?
Yes.
Okay. What made me want to have my lifestyle documented? I feel like you said, there's a lot of people that are closeted, and I feel like we're pretty open. We're open at work. We're open with our families. I figured we would be a good representative kind of chunk.
What makes you feel like you guys are like a good representative poly family?
I don't know. I feel like we're very successful at it. I feel like there's, based on what I see on the boards, I feel like there's a lot of turmoil going on, and I feel like we're a good representative of someone who's doing it well.
I'm Courtney.
How old are you, Courtney?
I'm 21.
You're 21.
Yes.
And what first got you interested in polyamory?
Polyamory officially was I worked at Sunglass Hut with Alicia, and one day we were working together and she made a comment about, I knew she had a boyfriend, and she made a comment about going on a date with someone else, and I was like, what about your boyfriend? And she's like, oh, I have 2 of those. And I was like, what? That's a thing? What is that? Tell me about that. And that's when I learned about the term polyamory. But what started me being poly was my first relationship ever. I had a very best friend that I grew up with, and I was like desperately in love with her. But she was dating someone else, and so I was like, well, that's it, we can't be together. And she said, no, it's fine, because she was also poly, and I was like, no, it's not fine. Then I started dating my ex, John, and then I started to fall in love with him, and I was still in love with her. And I started to realize that I was in love with 2 people at the same time. And throughout John and I's relationship, we were on and off with being open, where I would be allowed to be involved with girls or date girls, but not really guys. And then when we moved to Pittsburgh and Alicia started talking about polyamory, I went to John and was like, well, I've always been allowed to be with girls, so what's the difference truly of me being with a guy or a girl? If sex is sex and love is love, what is the difference? And then one day I decided it was really something I wanted to do, and I went to him and was like, so I really want to try being poly officially. And he said yes, without really much of question or debate, and I've been poly as a core ever since.
Just by kind of defaulted into it, that Alicia had been seeing, not even really officially seeing, it was just her friend, and they messed around and were as in as love as like 12, 13-year-old friends can be when you're kind of figuring out who you are. And once we started dating and I met her and it was like just a thing, they were together, I never, just reflecting later, it never shocked me or was like a thing to look at like that was cheating. It was like they already existed as their own unit, and it was just kind of an accepted thing. That I think the feeling going into it for them was, if anybody left or wasn't going to be around, it would be me, because I was new to the friendship and meeting them, and they had been friends for many years. So I think it was more like, I just accepted, if I'm going to be here, this is how it is. And I never thought anything beyond that. I don't think I'd ever even seen or known anybody in that kind of situation. And then it just didn't faze me at all. It was just like, oh, they do this, okay. And there was no thought behind it, there was no jealousy behind it. And I think at that point, especially that age, I was 14, you're not, being from a small town in Ohio, you don't really see an alternative. You see get married out of high school, have a kid, maybe have a decent job, and stay in your hometown. That's what you see. You don't see that there are options or alternatives. That is what everyone does.